Okay, so for this video, which is a series of like 3 videos I'm going to record, this one being the unit circle, I'm going to sort of explain how I would sort of start the unit circle if I was asked to construct them from scratch. So I've already kind of started it to save some time, right? What I would do first is obviously draw the axes, draw the circle, and then I would draw these sort of 3 segments, and you'll see why I did that, right? So for starters, I've put the values, the degrees that I would expect you to remember, and these are part of the special right triangles, right? Is the 30, 60, 45. And so with that, you want to go ahead and remember their radian counterpart, which is pi over 6, pi over 3, and pi over 4. Now, again, now that I'm being asked to start this from scratch, I'm going to explain to you how I would do it so that I can minimize any confusion, minimize the effort that I need to put into sort of constructing this. So I like to always start with the 45s. I think for me, that's my medium in terms of getting, warmed up and then getting confident about being able to do this. So I would start with the degrees first. I would go and write out 45, right? And then plus 45 is 90, plus 45 is 135, okay? Plus 45 is 180, plus 45 is 225, I believe. Yeah. And then plus 45 is 270, plus 45 is 315. And then plus 45 puts me at 360. Okay. So now that I've done this, okay, I'm going to go ahead so I don't have to come back and have a bunch of numbers, right, that I have to worry about. I want to get, as much done as possible. So now that I have the degrees, I'm going to go ahead and fill it in with now the radian. So that's pi over 4 plus pi over 4 is 2 pi over 4. But remember, that reduces to pi over 2. But remember, pi over 4 plus pi over 4 is just 90. So in the back of my mind, as long as I'm talking about radian, I'm also thinking about its degree counterpart. So that's pi over 2. Okay, so plus 45, which is another pi over 2. Now I'm at 3 pi over 2. And I don't have to, sorry, 3 pi over 2, 3 pi over 4. And I don't have to worry about all these other numbers on there, right? So I'm trying to knock these out as I go. Plus 180 would be 4 pi over 4. But remember, 4 pi over 4 reduces to just pi right here. Okay, now we're at 225. But now this is 5 pi over 4, and it's not reducible. Plus down here, just because we have space, we'll put 6 pi over 4. But that now reduces to 3 pi over 2. And that's what this is. Now we're going another pi, which is now 7 pi, right? So I'm looking right behind where I was, and I'm adding that extra pi. So now we're at 7 pi over 4. And then lastly, because again, we have space, we're at 8 pi over 4, and that's just equal to 2 pi for this last one. So bam, we're almost there. Look at that. So the one that you do have to remember, sorry, was 0, 90, 180, 270. But again, if you practice this and chunk it down, you'll be okay. All right. Now the next one I would like to go is to the 60s. Why? Because 60s will not have to go through all of them, but it goes through a few. So I'll go 60, and then I'll fill in those empty spots with 30s. So starting off with 60, we're right here. Okay. Now 60 plus 60 is 120. Now you're like, well, how do I know 120 is right there? Well, remember, I started with 45s, and 45 put me 135 right here. Well, if this is 135 and this is 90, then this has to be 120, right? So plus 60 puts me at 180, which is already there. Plus 60 puts me at 240. Well, 240 has to be in between 225 and 270. And that's another reason why I like using 45s first. And then 240 plus 60 puts me at 300 right here. Sorry, that's sloppy, but you get it, 300. And then the last one is 300 plus 60, which is 360. And guess what? I don't have to worry about it. It's already done. So now I go back and fill it in with my pi's, right? So this is pi over 3, okay? Pi over 3 plus pi over 3 is 2 pi over 3, and so far I'm thinking about reduction, but that doesn't need to be reduced. 2 pi over 3 plus another pi over 3, that's now at 3 pi over 3 over here, okay? But guess what? That's already simplified to pi. Now the next one's right here. We're now at 4 pi over 3, okay? And that one doesn't reduce. And then the next one is, see, I lost count. So 4 pi over 3. And then the next one is 5, 5 pi over 3. I was like, where was I? So 4 pi over 3, then this should be 5 pi over 3. And it's not reducible either. So 5 pi over 3, okay? And then the next one is going to be 6 pi over 3, which is going to get us from 300 to 360. So just to verify that, 6 pi over 3, okay? That reduces, how many times does does 3 go into 6? Twice. So that would leave me with 2 pi. So I'm good. Check, right? So with that being said, I'm going to go now in there with the 30s and fill in the blanks. So 30 degrees is here, okay? Now 30 plus 30 is 60, that's already there. Plus 30 is 90, that's already there. Okay, plus 30 is 120, that's already there. Plus 30 is 150, that means that 150 has to be this one. Okay, 150 plus 30 is 180, that's already there. Plus 30 is 210, and that's the one that's missing, so that's 210. Plus 30 is 240. Plus 30 is 270. Which is right here. Plus 30 is 300, which is there. Plus 30 is 330, which is the one that's missing. So that's 330 degrees. So with that being said, we'll go in there and fill those with the pi's. So 30 degrees was pi over 6. And then plus 30 degrees would be 2 pi over 6. Plus 30 degrees would be 3 pi over 6, right? Plus 30 would be 120, which would be 4 pi over 6, right? Plus 30 would be 5 pi over 6. So over here, we're at 5 pi over 6. And then 6 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6. So that's 7 pi over 6. And then 8 pi over 6. 9 pi over 6, 10 pi over 6, and last one right here is 11 pi over 6. So 11 pi over 6. And again, you could speed through this or slow down, but you get the point, right? You get how I'm coming up with these. You just have to take it slow first. Once you get comfortable doing this slow, then you can go through it fast. So please take your time, but try to do a couple of these at least, right? You can't expect to know this right off the bat. So